No, I'm here in answer to your request.
Request?
For help?
Is this some kind of joke?
No, he doesn't make jokes.
He?
Capital H, capital E.
Welcome back, everybody, to our big movie special. Well, we just spent some serious quality time with the stars of One Fine Day, and let me tell you, as you could probably see, the chemistry between George Clooney and Michelle Pfeiffer just oozes off the screen. I certainly hope her husband doesn't mind us saying that.
Oh, with all her movies, he must be used to it by now. But they aren't the only movie couple made in Hollywood heaven. Whitney Houston is teaming up with a very angelic Denzel Washington for The Preacher's Wife. It's a remake of the 1947 Cary Grant, Loretta Young film, The Bishop's Wife.
This is Dudley, the Reverend's new assistant.
Who sent you exactly?
The top man himself, Mrs. C.
In this film, Washington is God's gift to women.
Now, that's what I call good looking.
He's an angel sent to Earth to help a preoccupied reverend, played by Courtney B. Vance, and his neglected wife, Whitney Houston.
You see Henry and me?
Ow! Ow! Oh! Ouch! Oh, it's so hot I had to let it go.
Oh, you must be talking about my past.
Being an angel and all, Denzel is understandably a little rusty when it comes to life here on Earth.
Wonderful. What do you call that?
So,
Especially when it comes to dancing. John Travolta, he's not.
oh, what's that one?
The Popeye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, it's coming back now.
I guess. Whoa. You get out as much as I do.
Oh, less, even less.
He can move, can he? When I met with Denzel this week, we chatted about everything from, well, that unique dancing technique you just saw in his new film, to most importantly, being a dad, a role model, and the role of African Americans in film.
I don't care what color you are in it. Black, blue, green. A bad movie's a bad one, and a good one's a good one.
And as an actor, Denzel Washington is known for making a movie as good as it can possibly be. Now, with The Preacher's Wife, this Academy Award winner is teamed up with singing superstar Whitney Houston. As you would expect, the combination is something special.
You had great chemistry with Whitney Houston.
Yeah, we get along. You know, it's like almost like she's a baby sister or something like that. She grew up very similar to me. I mean, she had more famous people around her than I did growing up. But, you know, she grew up in Newark. I grew up in Mount Vernon. And, you know, just humble beginnings, and grew up in the church. And so we have a lot in common. You ever had your farm raised?
Okay.
I see a beautiful woman with a good heart.
This is a lighter side of you that I guess we didn't see a lot, at least, and especially in your last few movies.
Right.
Is this, did you think about that? Is that something you wanted to do?
Yeah, I needed to do it. You know, just one serious film after another was starting to wear me down, I think. And, you know, more and more I've been talking about it, and people have been asking me about it, and it's been in the back of my mind. And it's going to be hard for me to go back to the more serious films, because I had such a good time on this one.
And what is this?
My toy ambulance is broken. The battery got stole. The lights don't work anymore.
Is that right? Let's see what I can do here.
Never had a siren.
And it was also important to you to put out a film with a nice message, a spirit.
That's right. That's right. I mean, the original film, it's the same message. You know, it's about a person who loses their faith and whose relationship with his wife is falling apart, and his angel comes to help him. I mean, it's really the same film that it was. I think it has as much to do with the time that we're in, you know, and I feel that in this society that we're living in right now, we need more films like this.
Did you feel this way before you had kids?
Having children changed it a lot. Acting was my life before I had children. Now acting is making a living. You know, it's an excellent opportunity to entertain and to please people and to influence people. But the miracle of life, you know, that's the miracle of life. I mean, and to take these young lives, and they depend upon you for everything. You know, I don't want to look back 20 years from now and say, oh, he was a heck of an actor, but look, you know, I didn't do anything with my children. I don't want to say what I woulda, coulda, shoulda done.
The positive messages and the strong values portrayed in The Preacher's Wife are something that Denzel feels quite strongly about.
We should, as African Americans, concern ourselves with the quality of our work. What message are we sending to our young people? Are we only saying, hey, get a gun, sell some crack, bounce up and down in a lowrider, and you got a movie?
I'll, try another approach.
Another thing about The Preacher's Wife that appealed to Denzel was the chance to strut his stuff on the dance floor in a scene that earned him a special nickname from his dancing partner.
Goof Daddy. That was after the day of dancing, that idiot dancing stuff that I was doing, you know, because I was just acting silly. The first time I did a take, everybody started cracking up. So I was like, yeah, all right, I'll keep going with this. I'll get sillier and sillier and sillier. And her reaction in the film, which was I think from the first take, was good, because she looked at me like, what is this guy doing?
So you're trying to tell us that's not the way you really
I
dance.
can dance. You kidding me? I can dance now.
You're going to have to prove it in some other movie. You know that now.
Dancing I can do. I'll put it to you this way. For those New Yorkers, anyway, that know, I used to go to a place on 86th Street called the Corso Room. And it was a Latin club. Thursday nights was Latin night, and you had to be able to dance. And I could dance in there with the best of them, so.
The dance you do in the movie, is that...
But it sounded so good.
Welcome back to a special edition of Access Hollywood. I'm Larry Menti.
And I'm Nancy O'Dell, and that, of course, was Whitney Houston you just saw getting vocal as a gospel singer in The Preacher's Wife. Now, this film was pure bliss for Whitney because it gave her a chance to combine her gospel music roots with her acting talents.
You know, getting angry at a dead tree is not going to help.
Yeah, but it wouldn't look good to punch out a pastor either.
No, you don't. You don't mean that, because you know you love him.
Yeah, and he knows it too. That's the problem. He knows I'll always be there, just like a pet.
Whitney Houston is the preacher's wife, whose lonely life is literally touched by an angel, Denzel Washington. Through her friendship with this heavenly creature, Whitney begins to rediscover the happiness that's been missing in her life.
Oh, yes, I do. I believe in you.
And when Houston's happy, so are moviegoers. That's because we get to hear that fabulous voice, the true highlight of this holiday film. She is too good, isn't she?
She can sing.
And so passionate when she sings. Is she that way when you sit down and talk to her? You got the chance to do that.
Oh, absolutely. She doesn't hold back when she sings, as you know from seeing her. She certainly does not hold back when you sit down and talk to her. And one thing she is very passionate about is this movie.
You can make a lot of action, you can make a lot of, you know, a drama, you can make a lot of films, you know, but not one has been made about what has been around for so long, spirituality, you know?
Whitney Houston has had a lot of drama in her life. She has made a lot of music in her life. But she believes this part in this movie is very special for her.
Do you believe in angels?
I believe that we are all angels in our own way when we want to be, you know? And an angel help comes to assist you. Now, that could be me, you, or anybody that wants to be that. It doesn't have to be angels who come down from heaven with wings and say, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? It's about giving. It's about assisting and helping those who are in need.
All right, so you get to sing, you get to act, you get to play a mom. This is like the perfect role. This is you.
It's me.
Do you really relate to the character?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I know Julia very well.
What are some of the similarities, other than the ones I just mentioned?
Oh. Well, she has a good sense of community. You know what I'm saying? She knows what it takes, and that means to stay. Not to leave it, but to stay. And she cares about people. She cares about people. However, she's a woman, and she feels like every woman does. And yet she's willing to even sacrifice that as long as her husband hears her out. You know, I can relate to some of that stuff, you know.
And you as well?
Sometimes, you know, but when I let the emotion out, nobody's around but me and my husband or, you know, people that I know. You know, it's not all the time I get to, like, you know, release, you know.
Yeah.
So I do it through my music. I do.
Is this something you always wanted to do a gospel movie?
I always wanted to do a gospel album. Not so much a gospel movie. I didn't know that I would do a gospel album in a movie, but I would have done a gospel album anyway without the movie.
But now that you've done the movie, is it like going home?
Oh, yeah. Oof. And what fun it was going home. It was great.
It was also fun for Whitney to have her mom in the movie singing in the choir.
Now, when you were growing up, your mom was head of the choir, right?
Yes,
And you were in the choir.
yes.
Now here,
I'm
you're
head of the choir, and she's in the choir.
So was it fun to do it the other way?
Yeah, it was fun, you know, because it was just acting.
Yeah.
It wasn't for real.
One thing that's very real is Whitney acting with Academy Award winner Denzel Washington. Houston had a chance to see a side of the dramatic actor that few seldom do, and even coined her own nickname for him.
Where did Goof Daddy come from?
Denzel, he's like telling all our little jokes and stuff, right? Denzel is silly. He's a very silly kind of guy. We're both closet comedians, you know. And he gets real goofy and stuff and start doing crazy stuff. And you know, the scene where he's doing all those old dances, and he just did that on the spot. We didn't practice that or anything. He would just make up these dances along the way. And I just think you're just a goof daddy, you know. He's got 4 kids, you know. He's a father. He's like, he's goofy. Whoa. You get out as much as I do.
Oh, Les, you